Hello, my name is David G. Comat, and I am a doctoral student at California Intercontinental University. This presentation is being made to show if predictions can be made between certain personal financial factors. In this study, the factors being utilized are income, savings, stocks, and debt. The tests conducted were used to determine if any predictions could be made about these factors. The data was taken from a SurveyMonkey survey of people in the Midwest of the United States. Our agenda is as follows. The introduction, which is the part we are listening to now. The study details, as already stated above. The hypothesis test conducted. Important takeaways. And finally, an annotated bibliography. The first test conducted was to determine if there was a relationship between debt and income. This test was conducted to determine if the amount of debt could be predicted based on income earned. The null hypothesis shows if the regression coefficient beta is 0. The alternative hypothesis was used to determine if the regression coefficient is non-zero. The test involved a simple regression to determine whether debt could be predicted based on an individual's income. No significant regression could be found. The beta was equal to 0.05, the R squared was 0, and the p-value was 0.535. The p-value must be less than 0.05 in order to reject the null hypothesis. Since the p-value in this test was greater than 0.05, as shown above 0.535, then we could not reject the null hypothesis. A relationship was not found. Therefore, the level of debt could not be predicted based on the level of income. The second test involves savings and income. As in the first test, the null and alternative hypothesis are the same. In this test, we wanted to determine if we could predict if the amount of savings would increase in accordance with an increase in income. In this test, there was a statistically significant regression found. The beta was 0.91, the R squared was 0.82, and the p-value was 0.00. The null hypothesis therefore is rejected and predicted savings were shown. The savings equals 0.91 times income minus 203. Additionally, the 95% CL 0.09, 0.11 does not contain the 0, therefore lending support to the prediction. The third test was between stocks and savings. The null and alternative hypothesis are the same as in the first and second tests. In this test, we performed a simple linear regression to determine if investments in stocks could be predicted based on savings. A statistically significant regression was found. The beta was 0.28, R squared was 0.07, and the p-value was 0.00. In this test, the null hypothesis was rejected. Stocks equals 0.28 times savings plus 1,007. Stocks were predicted to increase based on savings. In addition, the 95% CL 0.07 and 0.25 does not contain a 0, which supports the prediction. We have some important takeaways. The important takeaways in this presentation shows that a significance was found. A result was found between savings and income and savings in stocks. No significant result, however, could be found between debt and income. The first article I wanted to discuss is the one called Correlation by W.M.K. Trakin. In my undergraduate program, as well as in my MBA program, we had a class on statistics. However, understanding correlation so many years after taking those courses was difficult. This article focused on explaining the purpose and mechanics of correlation analysis. It detailed how to calculate the correlation and tests of significance. The article also was to the point and easy to understand. The examples provided were good and well developed. The article was objective and helped me to understand conclusions based on correlation outcomes, and also brought back some important learning that I had from a few years ago. The next article was on the chi-square test of independence. This article introduced the reader to the chi-square test of independence. Assumptions of the chi-square are provided. The content provides a case study to illustrate the process of performing chi-square, as well as how to interpret the results. It then showed how to validate the statistical significance found. As prior experience has shown me in learning, I did not understand the chi-square as well as I did now, which is why I chose this particular article. The third article I chose was the eyewitness testimony, the influence of the wording of a question. This article presented information on how certain words used in the study of individuals could change their eyewitness testimony. In this case, it had to do with a car accident, and by the way that the words were changed actually influenced how people's eyewitness testimony was presented. In my work as a forensic accountant and a fraud investigator, we learn the importance of the proper wording of questions so that we do not mislead those being interviewed. We learn certain types of questions that must be used. The wording of each question is designed to attempt to discover the perpetrator of the fraud without disclosing the purpose of the interview. The reason I like this article is based on my years of training and skills in interviewing. The importance of eyewitness testimony should not be given too much weight, as the recollection of these witnesses is often skewed and can be changed just by the words that are chosen. I want to thank you very much for your time in viewing this presentation. If you have any questions, please feel free to post them below, and I will do my best to answer them for you. Thank you for your time.